Gettysburg, Day 3, 5 a.m. One Union brigade is led by Colonel James Wallace, educated, wealthy, also from Maryland. The only Union colonel who owned slaves.
Medic, get over here, quick!
During the Revolution, his grandfather and Ridgely Howards fought in the same regiment. Today, the two Marylanders will battle each other. On Culp's Hill, Ridgely Howard's unit prepares to attack. Their target, defenses held by Union troops from their home state.
The men seemed to feel the solemnity of the occasion and to understand the desperate nature of the charge to be made. I prayed for strength to do my duty.
Last night, the rebels outnumbered Union defenders 3-1. Now, those odds are reversed.
It appeared to me as if the whole of my company was being swept away by the awful shower of shot and shell flying around us. A demon seemed to take possession of me. I had but one thought: to avenge my comrades.
Howard takes a bullet fired by the Union's 1st Maryland Regiment.
I felt a burning in my thigh, as if all the blood in my body was rushing to one spot. It is a hard thing to say, but I am convinced the Federals deliberately shot at us while we lay there helpless on the field. A soldier at my left was shot. I was also struck in the hip.
Hip wounds are almost always fatal. James Wallace won't let a fellow Marylander suffer, no matter which side he's on. Coming to Howard's aid, the soldiers he'd least expect to help. The same Union troops who shot him.
They asked what regiment I belonged to. I replied, the Maryland Battalion, to which they made answer, "Do you know you are fighting your own men?" I answered, yes, and we intend to fight them.
With the rebel assault on Culp's Hill stalled, Robert E. Lee readies one more massive attack. After 2 days of attack and counterattack, Robert E. Lee is about to launch the offensive that will decide the Battle of Gettysburg and the course of the war. He's sending in 12,000 soldiers anchored by George Pickett's division, his only fresh troops. Their mission, attack the Union center and cut the Army of the Potomac in two. Leading one of the rebel brigades, General Joe Davis, aristocrat, slave owner. His uncle, Confederate President Jefferson Davis. His hometown of Vicksburg, Mississippi, is under Union siege. To weaken Union defenses, 160 Confederate cannons move into position. A line of artillery 2 miles long. Against them, 100 Union cannons.
Fire!
It's the largest artillery barrage ever in the Western Hemisphere. Can be heard in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 40 miles away.
Cease fire! Cease fire!
To lure Lee into thinking he's crippled the Union's artillery, Union commanders silence their guns. The Confederate command believes it's safe to send in their troops. Time to set in motion one of the iconic battles of the Civil War. Joe Davis and his men move out. Part of a rebel assault that stretches a mile. Unknown to the Confederate leaders, the Union artillery still has plenty of firepower. Joe Davis and his men are marching into a barrage of artillery hell. Shells and shrapnel that burst in the air over the enemy's heads. One shot can take out 10 men.
Being on the receiving end of one of these projectiles from the rifled ordnance would be completely devastating. You don't know what's coming at you. You can only imagine.
Stopping to return fire in an open field is suicide. And there's no point. Their muskets don't have the range. Davis knows his men have to keep moving.
We were growing thinner at every step. Under this destructive fire, which commanded our front and left with fatal effect. The troops displayed great coolness. We're well in hand and moved steadily forward, regularly closing up the gaps made in their ranks.
Until Davis and his men can return fire, they're just target practice for Union artillery. The attack that will come to be known as Pickett's Charge is being blown to hell. Lee's offensive is advancing toward enemy troops on Cemetery Ridge. Union artillery is mowing them down. It's the moment of truth at Gettysburg for both armies. Joe Davis and his men are now 400 yards from the Union guns. Canister range. casing explodes, spraying the iron balls into advancing troops at hundreds of yards per second.
The canister shot just made that cannon a gigantic shotgun.
Davis regroups at a dirt road, the Emmitsburg Road, 200 yards from the Union line. They're now within range of enemy muskets. One fence they're using for cover takes 836 rifle shots. The brigade to the left of Davis hasn't caught up, exposing his flank and opening a hole in the rebel line. A few men under Davis make it to the Union line and plant their flag on a stone wall. A brave but futile gesture. The rest of the unit under Davis cracks and retreats. Rebel troops under George Pickett managed to break through and surge over the wall. Union gunners fire point blank.
Now it's to the point of hand-to-hand combat. This is as brutal as it gets. As thrusting weapons.
The rebels overrun 3 cannons, but they're soon overwhelmed. It's Lee's last chance for victory at Gettysburg, but it's not enough.
They almost cut the Union Army in two. They almost did it.
The entire rebel line retreats. More than half of the force that began Pickett's charge is dead, wounded, captured, or missing. Lee loses a third of his army at Gettysburg. It's the bloodiest battle ever fought on American soil. More than 50,000 casualties. Robert E. Lee's bold invasion of the North has failed. Independence Day. Rufus Dawes of the Iron Brigade turns 25 today.
What a solemn birthday. My little band, now only 200 men, have all been out burying the bloody corpses of friend and foe.
Gettysburg wasn't Lee's last chance to win, but it was his best. He'll never come this close again.